Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do another gameplay preview video, this time looking at a new leader in Secrets of Power, which the pre-releases are on this weekend. I'm going to look at Slymore. Slymore is a cunning villainy leader that deploys on 5 with 3-6 stats, so not the premier stats of 3-7, but 3-6 is not too bad. It has an action on its leader side. If there are 4 or more exhausted units in play, create a spy token for the cost of 1. That is a 0-2 token that has raid 2. That might seem like a hard requirement, but as we'll see in the 3 games that I'm about to play, that does happen a little bit more often than what you would think on initial read. Also, we've got the traits of Force, Imperial, and Official. On deployment, it's completely different ability. On attack, you may deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit. That actually triggers quite a lot as well. So 3-6, not the greatest stats, but let's see how it goes. This is a token generation leader. So let's take a look at some of the new cards. So we've got the Major here. He's got Overwhelm. He's a 0-6, which means that he's difficult to remove in 1 turn. But if they have a lot of units, they can run in. But that when another friendly official unit attacks can make him quite large over time. In a particular phase, if you've spawned a lot of spies, which are in themselves an official. So that's the Major. We've got Jar Jar Binks that comes out as plot, and then just you can play it normally as a +2/+2 bump, but also gives you a 2/1 unit. So if you think of other pumps from set 1, we had like permanent upgrades that gave you +2/+2. This one gives you a body instead, and I would argue that the body is better. Plot means you can also resource it and then on your leader deploy, play it straight out, which is great for all kinds of decks. And then we've got 4 traits: Naboo, Republic, Gungan, and Official. We've got Chancellor Palpatine, which is another one of the premier plot cards from Secrets of Power. He'll give a 2 spy tokens and give them Sentinel when played with plot. Otherwise, it's just a regular 2/2. We've got Kino Loy, which is a 1/5/3 cost. This unit gets +1/+0 for each other exhausted friendly unit. So similar to the Major, this unit can become quite large in certain board states. So that's why that one's in the deck. We've got Mazamida, another plot card, 3/4, give experience up to 2 officials. So that will turn Slymore into a 4/7 on plot. Alright, we've got Rampart. This one I'm not sure about in the deck. I'm just kind of trialing it at the moment. On attack, disclose green, green, black. If you do, give an experience token to each of up to 2 other units. So if you've got a wide board, this one can be good. The 6 health is not particularly easily removed by an opponent. Grand Admiral Thrawn. This is the top end of the deck. 7 cost, 8/7. Opponent may choose a non-leader unit they control. If they do, this unit captures it. If they don't, ready this unit. So if they've just got 1 big unit out, you can play this, and it will give them a Murphy's Choice, I think it's called. No, Sophie's Choice, where that where they have to either take one of 2 possibly bad outcomes. When defeated, a friendly unit captures an enemy non-unit leader in the same area. So all good from the Thrawn there. We've got a new event here, which is Arrest. Your base captures an enemy non-leader unit at the start of the regroup phase. Its owner rescues it. So this deck also runs Unrefusable Offer, which was a showdown prize in set 2 that allows you to put a bounty on and you take control of that unit for a turn. So that kind of pairs really well with Arrest. Arrest is a good temporary removal, even for like a piloted Chewbacca ship as well. This next one, Budget Scheming, give an experience token of each up to 3 official units. This one is actually surprisingly good. When you first read it, you think, oh, okay, well that's okay, but we've seen these before for troopers. Officials tend to have a lot more health, and your leader tends to be an official as well. So think of it as 2 cost, give +1/+1 to your leader, and then another 2 units out there. as well. So it's actually quite good. And then we've got some staples, things like Poggle the Lesser allows us to go wider on the board, and that will allow us to use Slimemore ability as a leader more often. Anyway, that's enough talking about the deck. The deck is in the description of the video. Let's jump on to some games and see if this deck works at all or it's a lemon. So hopefully we don't get nothing too aggressive. I think a Sabine would still walk over the deck. But against mid-range decks, maybe there's something here. It's actually surprised me,
there.
This deck, that how good that it could actually be. It's not a deck that goes super into the long game, but it is a deck that can surprise your opponent with certain units. Okay, well, let's keep that. We're going to keep a rest, so we're going to get rid of 2 Poggles here. We'll open up with Poggle. We also run the Season Fleet Admiral, which is a card from Jump to Light Speed. Gives you Raid 1. It is an official, which is what we want. And it has that give an experience out if your opponent draws a card. Alright, so let's claim the initiative here. Alright, so let's keep the Frozen in there as well, because we want as many units on the board to be exhausted as possible so that we can trigger Slimemore's ability. So let's play the Fleet Admiral. We'll exhaust Poggle, and that will give us 3 exhausted units. So if he attacks, we can now use a Slimemore's ability and give us a 0-2 ability, but he did it, but he killed our unit there. So let's just claim. Not much we could do about that one. Maybe we should have played the Cob. Maybe not. Okay, so he's going to have a bit of power up there in space. Now we can Frozen in Carbonite that unit, or we could play the Cob Vanth. I think I'm going to keep the Frozen in Carbonite in case he plays a Chewy. Alright, so what's better here, a Cob or a Kennett? Let's play the new one and we'll see if we can really ramp it up. No, he has a lot of exhaust effects, so that's probably not going to work. So let's just play the Cob. Alright, we've got 3 exhausted units so far. We need 4 for the Slimemore trigger. Alright, so here comes the Han. Now this is going to be a great unit for us to arrest. So there is our trigger for Slimemore. So we can arrest this next turn. He's wasted 3 cards on it. And if he wants to play that back out, he's going to have to return it back to a unit back to hand. Alright, so if we're going to arrest, probably don't need the Moff Gideon then. Alright, so let's arrest the Starfighter. Alright, now we can play Kino Loy and then a tap with our unit there. We can play Slimemore. And then we can begin to attack our opponent. So we can hit an exhausted unit. So let's hit the A-Wing just because we've got a Frozen in Carbonite if he gets the Scout Wing pretty high. So you can see, look at how big this card came. This is 8-5 if we had have got through all of those units attacking first. Okay, the Starfighter returned back to his board, so he didn't have to trigger the when played again because of the arrest, just returns it out there. So let's see what our opponent has got planned for us here. Okay, so we're going to plot. Hits us with a sneaking suspicion. Okay, so he's tapped. I feel like we do need to play Overwhelming Barrage here, but we will only get 6 worth of damage here. Because how much has he got on board? He's got 3, 7, 11. And that's... Unless we just pump Kino Loy up as much as possible. Alright, so let's do that. And let's see what we hit here. Let's play the major out. I'm going to try and get as much as we can on Kino Loy so that we can Overwhelming Barrage and hit a lot of his board here. We got wrecked. We got wrecked on that one. Our strategy for doing that did not work. So the problem is we can take that out. I think we take that out and we can run in and kill the Mandalorian here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Yeah, especially when it's 6 or less HP on the Mandalorian. Yeah, those captures really hurt us this game. Alright, well, just hit. There's not much we can do here, I don't think. I don't think there's anything. That sneaking suspicion on the plot was just too fast for us. Yeah. Yeah, we cannot do anything. So we've got quite an imposing board. But yeah, him capturing that Kino Loy, he needed that Sanctioner shuttle. Otherwise, that barrage would have went for at least 10 across his board, which would have been enough to, I think, take out a lot of his stuff there. All right, so let's move to the next one.
Hello there.
All right, we've got quite an aggressive deck now. We've got Cassian Andor on Data Vault. Let's see who can be the most aggressive out of the two of us here. All right, so let's keep this one. We'll resource our 2 plot cards. We'll start with the major. All right, he does not have a play. All right, we'll put Mazamita down. Okay, we'll drop Cobb Vanth down. Now we don't need the major again. Problem is when they attack like this, you can't attack them back. So let's play Kino Loy down. We're trying to get to a board state where we can, we can't interact, unfortunately, at the moment. So I guess we just go base. We'll spawn a spy. All right, Corrupt Politician is actually decent here. Unrefusable Officer we'll probably get rid of because we don't have the arrest to go with it. Right, he's just going to keep attacking base, which I think is fine because we'll hit base with our spy. What have we got in here? We've got Chancellor Palpatine. So we bring that out for 3. Yeah. All right, so we can, and then play the corrupt politician as well. Oh, we got these budget scheming. So we could deploy, and then do we care about Poe? Let's just go all base and see. Yeah, all right, let's deploy. We'll play Chancellor Palpatine. And we'll play Jar Jar Binks. Right, so we're going to hit for a bit here. The question is, do we take out the Poe or do we just keep hitting? I think we just keep hitting base here. Sly Moore is an official. I'll put 2 on Poe. Okay, so I think it's better we attack with Kino Loy first. And then we attack with the Major. And then we pass. So you can see how explosive that turn was for our opponent. Like, he can play Cassian now, and he can... Cobb Vanth. All right, we'll take corrupt politician. All right, so let's just hit with the spy. Here comes Cassian. And that's game. So Cassian was or supposed to be the aggressive leader here. You saw what happened when he just ignored my units, let me build out a bigger board, and the Major and Kino Loy was able to attack sort of unhindered there. So, all right, so for our final game, we have a meta deck, Han to blue. So let's see if we can do anything against this one. So let's keep. We'll get rid of a Thrawn and a Barrage. Oh. Yeah, and then let's go 2 Fleet Admirals to start with. We might be able to get some XP out here. Yeah, it's very tough. Very tough, these games. All right, so let's just hit base because I have a feeling he's going to hit my Fleet Admiral. And then we can play Cobb Vanth here. Okay, so... well, let's just hit base. Let's see what he does here. I think we've got to just try and go wider than we can. This is his turn that he plays out Chirrut. So, I mean, that start from him is pretty good. Ogdo into Itinerant Warrior, and that's where I think this deck is potentially be great post-rotation. Maybe not the best at the moment here. So let's spawn out a spy token. There comes Ki-Adi-Mundi, and we'll claim. All right, so we need some kind of, potentially some kind of sentinel here. All right, we'll try and go super wide. So unfortunately the cob really doesn't kill anything at the moment. So let's put the politician down. That Ogdo has been a real issue this game for us. Because I can attack with the spy, but then Ogdo, he's just going to eat Kinoloy. So I guess I just drop another corrupt politician. That will give it Sentinel. All right, so what do I kill here? Do I kill the itinerant warrior? Yeah, unfortunately, Ogdo's, I think, is going to... The correct move would be to kill Kinoloy with the Ogdo. The problem is that Kiadi sort of is still there, and it just gives you that extra, card draw along the way, so he's able to refill his hand. I'll play the major out. All right, so now we will create a spy token. Yeah. We'll deploy Slow Mo. We'll be able to kill Kiadi Mundi by hitting base. But yeah, playing things under rate with Han is that Ogdo first turn. We have not been able to handle it very well. Mars Amida. 2 other officials. So let's play that out while we can. We hit nothing on Cobb, unfortunately. All right, we'll just hit base there. We'll be able to kill the Han. Yeah. I got the 2 in with the spy. Maybe I should have hit with Slow Mo because it would have killed that Han. I just have a feeling that he has Luke, which he did there. So we'll just have to hit base and, I guess, kill the Han. He wouldn't have been able to play that Luke if I had to hit the Slymore first. All right, so we've got a Dedra, though. So the Dedra will kill the Luke and allow us to get a spy. On attack, create a spy token. Hang on. How come that didn't give us an option to... Oh, trigger. On attack, trigger. I thought on attack created... Oh, we did create a spy token. It's there. I missed it. All right, we'll hit base again for 2. We have got 1 resource left, so if he attacks... Yeah. Let's see what he plays here. Because if he plays another unit out, then I can trigger... Yeah, I can. But the problem is this unit here just makes us discard a whole bunch of cards. All right, we'll go there just in case I have another one to spawn. Yeah. That's pretty much game now. So not too bad, but the problem was Ogdo turn 1 just, we'll finish that game up. Ogdo turn 1 just wrecked it, and that as well. We missed on Colvanth, so we got him to 20 damage, but there's obviously some refinement there that needs to happen. But having said all of that, I think there is something to this deck, and I'm interested to see how people develop it throughout the cycle. Like the Corrupt Politician, the Quarry, Jar Jar, Major, Poggle, Fleet Admiral. I'm not sure about Arrest and all that yet. Budget Scheming's good. Unrefusable Offer we didn't play. The Power Up, the Colvanth, the Kino, Mazamida. We didn't. Rampart and Moff we didn't get. Barrage obviously good. Dedra, Thrawn, Juicide. So there's obviously something there, but I think it just still needs more refinement. So let me know if you've had any success with this leader. I think post-rotation, it might be an interesting one, kind of in the Akbar realm of things, where we can sort of, spike a PQ or a store showdown with this deck. All right, well, thanks again for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.